guys, here for Werewolf Week. I've got Matt with me. Matt has directed seven. I did six, seven Werewolf Verticals. And I wanted to chat with him about his experience directing Werewolf Verticals and get his scoop. So, hey, Matt.
Hi, and what an experience it has been.
Yeah, I
It
bet
has
it
been quite
has.
the experience.
I bet it has.
Yeah.
So my first question, just really quick. So, you've done seven, and they've all been for short max? Is that correct?
Yes, I believe
I think
so.
they've
Yeah,
all
I
been
believe
for
so.
short
Yeah.
max, yeah. So
Yeah.
your first
Yeah.
one was in 2023. And
Yes.
then, I mean, one of the earlier, it's like, was Seth? And it was called Call Me
Yes. Yeah.
Alpha? Yeah, yeah.
It
I
was
mean,
called
like,
Call Me Alpha.
Call
Yeah.
Me
And so
Alpha.
you can imagine how, interesting that was to get a script. First time vertical, first
There you
time
go.
seeing anything like this. And,
Yes.
the script is called Call Me Alpha.
Yeah. So what
First
did you do?
time, like,
Read the script. Like, you see things like Moon Goddess and like, You're My Mate. Like, what was going
sure.
on in your brain at that time? Like, when that
Sure.
first.
Well, I mean, I didn't even do any sort of deep dive into the
Okay.
book world that it came from because I
Okay.
mean, I just didn't even know that's where it originated from. I just
Okay.
literally get the script and they're like, all right, interpret this and into what it means. And so intuitively, I kind of could figure out like Alpha is the king, Luna is like the queen, and the way that
Yes.
they would mistreat the Omega. I'm like, all right, there's clearly like
Like
classes here.
Regency era class.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
And so just leaning into that world and, thankfully it did well. Those first few,
Yeah.
the first one did well, and then that led to The Unwanted Mate, which thankfully did very well.
Yeah. How
And
many
so,
views that I think I did? I think I looked that up. That one has like 50 million views on Short
yeah,
Max or
yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I honestly don't know how they do the view system, if it like resets for a
Who
year or if
knows?
they re-upload it or something, because last year they said it was the third highest grossing show for Short Max. And they said
Wow.
it had over 100 million views. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
where that number came from.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who
Who
knows?
knows?
Who knows?
I
It came from
know
somewhere. Yeah.
it came from somewhere. I think I did a screenshot of how many it had, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that kind of launched your path
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Werewolf Verticals,
Yeah. And
was the
so like
unwanted mate.
yeah, as soon as that one came out, the CEO at Shortmax messaged me. They're like, "Congrats, you're the highest grossing director. We want you to be locked in
Awesome.
with us." And I was really hesitant to sign anything that locked me down because around that same time they were sending me a contract. They were sending me a script that was titled "A Deal with Lucifer." And so
Ooh,
a little,
okay.
a little suspicious or a little
Yeah.
superstitious there. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe I shouldn't sign any contract. But long story short, they definitely kept me busy.
Yeah.
And I did, I would say earn. I earned the reputation of being like a werewolf director. And so that came with
Right.
like a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
and I honestly didn't know what made me good as a werewolf director. I don't really, still even really don't really know
Yeah, it's just
specifically.
interesting. It just all hit right,
Yeah.
right? You had the right
I
cast, the right everything. I just actually watched The Unwanted Mate again, like
yeah.
2 nights ago. That one is long. It's like two movies in one, right? Did
They
you?
were long.
It
Yeah.
was long. It was like 90 reels or something. And it was
Yeah.
like, it was really like two movies. There's like the first arc and then there's the second arc with the vampire, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it was written that way. You guys shot it all at once, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the scripts are huge.
It
Like
was
they were
huge.
massive. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so in the early days, even the script for Call Me Alpha was like 180 pages long or something
Wow.
like that. And I mean, it had page breaks for every episode, so around 150 or so it would have been. And I mean, just insane the length. And we still have like the same amount of time to do it, like, 10 to 12 days or so.
Oh my goodness.
And nowadays we're getting scripts. I have one right now that's like 65 pages long, which
Yeah.
is like, easy. And I say
Yeah.
easy, which is bizarre because it's not technically easy, but having that sort of beginning, right, an entry into this world of verticals, like, I was used to shooting 20, 16 to 18 pages per day. And
Yeah.
so having half of that, I look at that like, oh my God, really? Like that's what we have to do? Because I'm so used to, even when having those hectic schedules, I would be on time and achieving everything that we would
Yes.
have
Yeah.
to, because
Yes.
there
Yes.
was no excuse,
There's a
oh, it's a
huge
longer
pressure.
script that it didn't matter. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
even now, even like those earlier shows, you could watch them and see. And I think it was maybe you that said it or someone else said it. There's so many review pages, sorry. But
Yeah.
somebody they said like it has the energy of like the younger indie film, like groups of like friends filming a project together.
Yes.
And
Yes,
yeah,
totally. I
yeah.
don't think I said that, but I could see that. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. And so someone for sure said, that it just has that energy of just like friends coming together to film something. And so it
Yeah.
was definitely that for sure for Call Me Alpha, which is now titled My Destined Alpha Mate.
Oh, is
Call
it
Me
they
Alpha was a
changed it?
bit much, but yeah, they did.
Okay.
And of course, like the Unwanted Mate, yeah, afterwards, which has a typo right in the poster, on the poster right there.
I love
And I
it.
mean,
I love it.
it's so bizarre. Yeah, it's
It's
so
so
bizarre.
it's such a great world that way. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're flawed and no one's gonna go back and change it because that
Nope.
they're on to the next thing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
editing is bad, what not bad, but sometimes there's
It's just it's
errors.
not a
Nope,
director's cut, that's for sure.
just
It's
go with
never a
it.
director's cut,
Yes,
If I
totally.
wish. Next year, maybe. I mean, I shouldn't say maybe. I do, I've been prolonging on this for so long, but I do want to make the jump to not just writing and directing, but also producing. I mean,
Oh, okay.
growing up, I made my own short films, and I know it's not the same on the same level. But I just know that it's something that I'm able to do, and so it's like,
Cool.
why not jump into
Yeah.
that, ship as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, so next year we'll see. Because I mean, I'm getting to the point where like, all the trailers that I've made for all the past shows, like I've done that just
Yes.
for free, just for
Yeah. Yeah.
marketing the own shows, just for the love of
Yeah.
it. And it's getting to a point now where it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And, it's like, maybe I should save that for the shows that I am writing and that I care truly about, and that
Yeah.
the end result of the show reflects the quality of the trailers as well. Because I
Yeah.
mean, right now they're like false advertising.
They
Right
are.
now it's
They
like,
really are.
yeah, right now it's like a beautiful trailer, and then you watch the show and it's like, what the hell is this?
And I mean,
But yeah,
that's like Hollywood in general, right?
sure, yeah,
Like you'll be
absolutely,
sitting in
yeah,
the movie theater and you're like, you just told me the whole story in the
yeah,
trailer.
for
Nope, not
sure,
gonna see that one.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can
for
kind of
sure,
tell which ones are gonna be
100%,
which ones
yeah.
are gonna do well. Yeah.
100%. And so it's
Yeah.
very fascinating, to like if I did have 100% say all throughout editing for the entire show, it would have the same quality as the trailers that I put out.
Yeah.
And that's what's really unfortunate that, the all the shots are there, like I'm
Yeah.
using the same shots that are in the show for my trailers. It's just different. It's not how
How
it
it's
is.
polished and edited is really makes
Yeah,
a big difference. Yeah. No, I
absolutely.
can totally see that.
Yeah.
Um, So you talked about changes that you've seen, scripts being longer, an hour shorter. I mean, so I
Yes.
watched a vertical the other day that was 39 episodes long, and it
Yeah.
was a full arc. It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a little over an hour. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
give me brevity, cut out all the filler, At
Yes,
least the
absolutely.
unwanted mate had two kind of storylines to it,
Sure.
um,
Yeah.
which I liked. I liked that.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
And
so
I mean,
anything
yeah,
else you've noticed in the any changes? Because the last one you did, let's see, Stealing My Alpha's Heart.
the
That was the
last
one.
alpha one.
Yeah, that was the last Alpha one you did. That was
Yeah.
with Eric
Yeah.
and Abigail.
Yeah.
That one, I mean, compared to Unwanted Mate, it was just more shiny. It was more,
Yeah.
the production quality looked a little bit, everything was just elevated,
Absolutely. Well,
basically
when
the
you,
same
yeah.
script. I mean, it
Yeah.
always is, but
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
else? What else have you noticed anything else?
Well, I mean, just, just be, comparing those two with The Unwanted Maid again, it was, we were filming that outside of LA, smaller crew. So like logistical reasons of why like they look different and polished and,
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
But in terms of, a broader scale of what I see differently, it would be more like character-driven plots, better scripts.
Good. Yeah.
In the early days, they very much relied on intimacy and probably like some more shock value. And, those are getting a bit toned down more. I think, I forgot
And
the,
toned up sometimes in some
yeah,
cases. The
unfortunately.
last one
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
anyway, unfortunately, but yes, you're right. As a
Sure.
whole, I do see the trend is more towards character driven, which is my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Um, but
And I've
yeah,
been seeing
yeah,
some better VFX work, like
yeah,
some
totally.
better,
Yeah.
transformations into wolves
Oh,
and all that.
Unwanted
So
Mate had some good CGI in that one. That was good when
that's
Alpha
some
Alert.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it was fascinating. Yeah.
And then, I
Yeah.
mean, so you get into like the realm of it being so bad that it's good, you know? And so at some,
100%.
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And I
There's
own it. I
actually
own it. Don't worry about
you
it. I own it.
should. You should
Yeah,
because
yeah.
honestly, I think like sometimes even I haven't even been in this space very long, and some of the verticals that I've watched that are older, I love them because you see the growth, but
Yeah.
then you also just so appreciate like the campiness. You're like, and it's still there. It's just a little bit more buried, but like you
Yeah,
really see the campiness. Oh, I
for
love it.
sure.
Yeah. I actually love that stuff. I think it's
Oh,
really
that's
fun, like
cool.
a little B-side thriller, like just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just a special, the Unwanted Mate 2 is like a special time capsule, that was like the
Yes.
project. Me and Eric have, we share, like, we don't share a birthday, but our birthdays are very close to each other.
Okay.
And we wrapped The Unwanted Mate just before we both turned 30. And so, like, that was our, like, our farewell to our 20s, our project. And
Unwanted
so,
Mate. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
for
so what
sure.
else you've done? The Alpha King is my second mate. That was with
Yeah,
Eric and
yeah,
Kirsten.
yes, yeah.
Kristen?
Uh-huh.
Christine. Sorry,
Christine,
Christine.
yeah.
She's
Oh.
gonna watch. I feel bad. Um,
That'd be
you've
sweet
done
if she's
three with
watching.
Eric. Yeah,
Huh?
oh, she's watching 100%. You've done three with Eric.
Gosh. Well,
Um,
I guess three alpha shows with
Alphas,
Eric.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think four total maybe with Eric or five. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't,
I'm not too sure. I could
I've
look at the
just seen
posters.
what your, oh yeah, look on your poster.
I'm gonna look at the posters.
The
One,
wall of the
two,
wall.
three, four. Just four. I think just
Okay.
four. And you know what's crazy? I haven't worked with Eric all year. This has been like
Oh,
yeah, me and him were just teammates, I guess, for 2024.
yeah.
It's pretty much.
Buddy
Yeah.
up and get it done.
I
Yeah, I
know.
love it.
Yeah.
No, I really liked stealing my Elvis heart. I liked the concept of the stealer, like
I know,
like
yes,
whole
right?
that whole
Yeah.
werewolf lore. At first, I was
Yeah.
like, "What the hell are they talking about? Stealer?" I had to like go
Sure.
look it up, like do
Yeah.
my
And
little Google
that
dive.
was like a learning lesson too for me because I was
Yeah,
also in the first one that I did. Like she was a stealer
she
and
was a
she's
stealer
going
too.
to, yeah, and like any mate that has lost their,
Yes,
mate or whatever, she can like immediately her scent is like, oh my God, and they just immediately filled with
yes.
this
Like I
intense
can mate
lust.
again. I can mate with
Yeah.
you. Like
Just
what is
right there in
that?
front of
Like
everybody,
this
just
world
tackle her.
is
I'm like, oh my
so
God.
bizarre.
It was a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
It is so bizarre. I remember when I first pressed play on a werewolf vertical, I was like, what is that? Like it took me
Yeah.
a long time to like I loved them because it's
Sure.
there's something about about them being led by instinct. Like they just
Mm.
have this instinctual drives that just like make things feel so raw and real
Yeah.
and like
Primal.
everything is like in the moment. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everything is
Sure.
like hot. And
Sure. Dude, it just taps into your primal urge. Just the primal state of just
I'm always telling
animalistic.
my
Yeah.
husband, I'm like, will you mark me tonight? Like just like in a totally like campy way. I'm like,
Sure. Yeah.
growl for me.
Growl
Like,
for me, my fated mate. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. And
yes,
what's so great, is like it could be easily, you get these scripts and it's just so cheesy. But
yes.
when the actors just embrace it
I
fully,
love it. I
that's
love
when it's
it.
just like the audience can suspend their disbelief and they
A
fully
hundred
believe
percent.
what's going on.
A
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so one last question before we
Mhm.
go, just because to keep it
Already the
short.
last one? Okay.
Oh, no, well, we can keep talking if you want to, but
Sure,
I
sure, sure.
wanted before we just like lose track of whatever we're talking
Sure,
about.
sure, sure, sure.
Um, what Oh no, I just lost my train of thought. Here we go. See? The ADHD train of thought
It
thing.
happens.
It
Choo choo.
happens. It
All aboard.
happens. And it
All
happens.
aboard.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, here we go. I'm looking at my questions now. What is the craziest thing you've shot for a werewolf vertical? Like what do you think? Like
Oh
what is like
man.
a crazy scene or like when you were shooting you're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Like
Wow. I don't know.
I can't really think
To
of
be
any.
completely honest, I cannot even really think of one. I mean,
It's okay if you can't. I just think the
yeah,
whole werewolf world in general has that feel, right? Like
sure.
until you watch a couple or direct a couple. Like,
Sure.
did anyone ever growl in yours? This is like growling and howling doesn't exist
I
very
think
often.
I think it's so funny that you're saying it this way because I probably have just become desensitized to it. When I
Okay.
first get the script and I'm probably like, "Oh my God, he's like growling at her or whatever." Like that would be a bit bizarre
Yes.
probably in the moment in the early days. I was probably like, "Are we
Yes.
really doing this?" But I've become so desensitized to it to where it's like, "Yeah, that's normal. That's what you do."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
shift. He's
You
gonna
know,
shift and we're gonna
the
talk
thing
about a
that
Luna and the
yeah,
moon
yeah.
goddess, and it's all
Yeah.
normal.
I think the thing that did take some getting used to, especially that like people would cringe in the early days was just the term alpha.
Oh.
Me going up to people, because especially we filmed those first few shows in my hometown, which is a few hours north of LA.
Oh,
So
okay.
much
Yeah.
cheaper to film. We got like locations for free, all that type of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
partly why too. I'm like, I'm ready to produce. I can do this. But so they just see now I'm losing my train of thought. Your
We're
ADHD
the
is
worst
over
for
here is
each other.
contagious. Yeah. Yeah, it's contagious, dang
But
it.
yeah, you guys are shooting and then yeah, there it goes.
Choo
Look
choo.
at
All aboard, dang it.
like there is no
Uh,
conversation now. We're done.
yep. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you
Welcome to
for watching.
ADHD
We were
world.
talking about
Oh yeah.
alpha. So, yes.
Alphas. Yes,
Yes,
yes, that was
alphas,
it.
alphas. So, I mean, just, shooting in my hometown and trying to get like local crew and everybody involved.
Yes.
And they're like, "All right, what's the title?" I'm like, it's Call Me Alpha. And they were like, all right. So everybody did actually start like just making fun of, the name, started calling me
100%.
Alpha.
It should be.
Um, yeah, for sure. And so
It's
like,
right.
people had some difficulty there for sure. Even some actors, that they still, make fun of each other back and forth nowadays for having a line of dialogue of like rushing into the kitchen and being like, Alpha, Alpha,
Oh
we need
yeah.
your help, And
Oh,
so like we
100%.
had some bloopers and yeah. And there's, at that point, sometimes, we're just having fun on set and I'm like, all right, now we have to do it very serious. You have to, it's very urgent, like you can't come in laughing,
Yes.
his
Yeah.
pack is getting
Oh,
attacked, So
I
it was,
actually
yeah,
have that question for the actors. Like, is there like, is it hard for you to like on set? Sometimes I could see it being like, do you have to like kind of stay in your werewolf, serious werewolf mode and not think what
mm,
you're filming is funny? Not that I'm saying that we make, but behind the scenes,
sure,
I know verticals
sure.
are kind of
Yeah.
campy and the lines that people say are just a little like, what?
Yeah.
But, on set, do you try really hard to like stay in that mode so that you're not breaking when you're saying some of these
Sure.
lines?
I would say probably the experienced actors are just so used to it by now, so that they really
Exactly.
don't. But yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, we have some great bloopers, like you could probably see in some of the earlier
Oh, I
shows.
would love that.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
actually, I do have a whole post that I'm working on about the
Nice,
early werewolf verticals. So if you have
nice.
anything,
Yeah.
let me know because that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be really
it's
fun to include.
funny. Like when I was filming that first one, I had again like an intuitive sense that we were making something very special, that we were on the
Good.
beginning of something. So I did like very long vlog sessions of like documenting the entire experience.
Okay.
Um, and just like how I was feeling around the time of like, oh my God, we shot this many pages today. And I haven't even looked at those videos since.
Okay.
But I don't even know if I'll ever, post them on social media or anything because I probably, look like an idiot. But, maybe it'll be, in my own little, recap documentary or something one day that I'll
Yeah.
keep in there. But
Someday.
just, yeah, but it's
Well,
just fascinating. Yeah.
the three, well, and the 3 years I directed 7 werewolf verticals. Like,
Well, it's got to be more than that. Well,
well,
I mean, I'm about to direct my 15th, and it's so funny because I feel so behind, especially comparing, and I'm not trying to compare myself to other
yeah,
directors or anything, because I know it's a marathon, not a race.
yeah,
But, having, and especially there's advantages like, obviously like the Chinese speaking directors are like very busy. So I can't compare myself to someone like
yes,
that.
yeah.
But having about to be doing 15 now, like I just, can't wait to achieve a certain number.
I,
And I
I,
mean, like,
I
and
can see that.
I know, like, whatever I'm like pushing for, it's, of course, it's within, like, if I reach a certain number, that's not going to fulfill anything.
Yes,
So,
yeah. No, I know
um,
what you mean. I know what you
it's
mean.
just, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like I just love what I'm doing. Like this
I
is
love
my
that.
coping mechanism again, like I was telling you before we started recording, like I was,
Yeah,
a bit of a loner growing up and so,
yeah.
I created as a writer, created these worlds that I could escape to and now just doing a passion that I was, growing up as a kid
I
and
love
now
it.
it's my job. So, yeah,
And
it's
and that's
amazing.
probably why, I mean, I don't think you said earlier you don't know what about your werewolf verticals made them take off, but
Sure.
obviously you've got that imagination in your head where maybe
Sure.
some more other directors are a little bit more like realistic, more real world, and in your
Sure.
mind you're like, "Oh, we're just
We're just
creating
having fun.
another imaginary world. That's
Sure.
really
Yeah.
fun?"
And I mean, I've done both ways, and so like, thankfully, And so I mentioned it earlier about how getting a reputation as a werewolf director is a bit of a double-edged sword. So like
Yes,
thankfully werewolf genre is always there. If any producer out there is
always.
listening, wants me to do an alpha werewolf show from, I could do it for
Yeah,
sure.
you could do it.
Um, but it got to a point to where other producers were like, are you able to do like a CEO show? Are you able to do a divorce show?
Like,
And I'm like, of course I can. And so, even like being asked a question of like, what's the difference between directing a werewolf show or like a divorce revenge drama or something like that?
yes,
Like,
yeah,
to
yeah,
be honest, like the terminology, sure, but there's
yeah.
still the same characters in the sense
Yep,
of like the dynamics there
yep,
and relationships, and
yep,
it's all the same. And then again, too, the visual language of filmmaking is the same. So
yeah.
it was a bit exhausting trying to prove to people that I could do another genre outside of
Yes,
the
I
werewolf shows. But
yes, and
yeah,
you just did a mafia one with
yeah, yeah.
Nick,
Which that
and oh, I can't remember her name. Nick, yeah.
Alina,
Alina.
which is so
Yes.
funny because I was very similar to her character name, so we just decided to change her character name to her actual name
Oh,
too.
did you?
Yeah,
Oh, did
so we're
I? I
like,
think
we're
I
just
wrote
gonna
a
do it.
review on. Oh, maybe I didn't write a review on that one,
Maybe.
but
Well, it came out right on Mafia Week, and it
it
was
was
like
like right at the
unprompted.
end of Mafia Week. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
believe you remember that. That's so fun.
Yeah,
Me and
absolutely.
Nick.
Well, I was so grateful because I think you were like the only
There's
one that
Nick.
did a review for it. Yeah,
It's
freaking
like
Nick.
blurring
What's up,
him.
Flat Nick? Yeah.
But Nick, what's
Love
up?
his like, yeah, it's so funny. His
It's so fun.
adventures. Yeah.
Yeah, his adventures have been fun. Yeah,
That you've
I
been
I just
posting. Yeah.
actually yeah, I have some plans for Flatness.
It's hilarious. Cool.
It's
Just him
so it's
traveling the
my
world. Yeah.
brain. It just goes in a many different.
I'm sure he gets a crack out of it, just opening up
He
Instagram and
I hope
seeing
he
his,
does.
yeah.
Nick, do you love it? He's not even listening.
I know, I know.
He
No one
does.
is
He
now.
does. I get many like this is so funny. Thank you so much. This made my day. I
Oh,
you know what I
cool.
mean? Like
For
it's really fun.
sure. Yeah,
I
for
asked him
sure.
for some advice on how to make Flat Nick happy the last time I posted because he was kind of sad.
Oh my gosh, you just have to put like a smiley sticky face over top of him, put
Well,
a
I
little
have
tear
some
on him.
plans to
See, I love
be
it.
happy.
Cool. That's gonna be a running gag for sure for the whole community.
It
They're gonna
is. It
love it.
has
Yeah.
been. It has. It is.
Yeah. So fun.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have loved talking to you.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
I think we kind of covered all my questions. I had way too many, but
You
I
had like
think we did.
four. You had
Yeah.
way too you could do more. No,
I had
you could have
five,
done
but
better. No,
like
I'm
they
kidding.
were like, oh, did anything change after? This was my last question from like a director's standpoint. You did
Mhm.
Unwanted Mate. It got so popular. Did you get like when they asked you again, did you get like an increased budget? Did you get like
Sure.
better scripts? Like, did anything change on the production side when they asked you to produce more or direct more?
Well, in that sense, I mean, they started, raising the rate a little bit that I would be paid, and they kind of
Okay.
did that just because I think just to keep me with them because
Yeah.
I didn't sign any kind of exclusive contract.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but they kept me very busy. So as soon as I would finish a script, they would be like, "All right, here's the next one.
Okay.
Here's your dates." So I
Okay.
loved that. And so I think just it's really just, after the unwanted mate, we just got a lot busier for sure.
Okay.
Thankfully,
Good.
for everybody got consistently busy,
Okay. A
and
little
I
bit
had
more job
some.
security.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a
Yeah.
little bit more job secure. I was able to leave my day job. I was doing regular, just real estate photography, actually driving
Oh,
around all of LA. I had the jobs, gosh, since film school. So
really?
pre-pandemic, yeah, I
Okay.
had it for like five
Like
years or so.
residential real estate?
Yeah, I would drive around taking photos of like apartments, houses,
Okay.
commercial buildings, and all
Okay.
just for, if
I've
they were for
sold a fair
sale.
share of homes in my day. I
Hey,
know.
there you go.
I've
Cool. Yeah.
staged a lot of homes too. So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was the day job and it paid well. Of course, it got me through
Yeah.
film school. And, it was job security during the pandemic as well,
Yes.
thankfully, because I was an
Yes.
essential worker.
Yes.
And
We
yeah,
all
and then
were essential.
yeah, right. I
I
know
loved that
everybody.
term.
I know, right? We were all
The
essential
liquor store.
workers.
You're an essential
I
worker.
know. Hey, they kind of were though.
It was, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's hilarious. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So, and then thankfully after the Unwanted Mate came out, I really did feel like I won the lottery.
Good.
When the CEO was like, "Hey, we want to work with you so much," I was like, "Oh my God, that's just,
Awesome.
everything that I've worked for to reach this point."
Awesome.
And it felt really, yeah. And
Really, really
so
validating moment. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
That's
so since
awesome.
then, it's just been,
Well,
consistency,
I
just
hope
yeah.
it keeps going. We love you and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fan
Oh,
space loves you.
oh, I
PS.
love
Like
them. Love them.
we love you. You just have such great energy and such a
Oh,
good heart and I feel like you're kind of like an anchor in our vertical
Oh,
community.
yeah. Oh,
So,
you're sweet. You're sweet.
oh, you're
I'm happy
welcome.
to be here. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we love having you. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say goodbye, if that's
All
okay.
right.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
guys.
Matt. I love chatting
Yeah.
with you.
Same,
Loved it.
same. Thank you.